I don't care what anyone says. This is fundamentally wrong, highly dangerous. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why British people need to start thinking about arming themselves. Because Ground News sponsored the channel. Straight away on the homepage that I was reading today, I see this article here. Look at this, front and centre. I haven't even clicked on anything. Britain has lost control of its borders, say the Defence Secretary. This is John Healey. And you can see underneath it there, left, centre, right. This is a balanced article. Let's click on it. There is a 40% off thing on this, guys, and I will give you an advert in the middle. But look, Britain has lost control of its borders, says the Defence Secretary. This is incredible to me. In this video then, we're going to have a look at what John says here. He is well respected. He is a Labour politician, but ultimately responsible for the nation's defence. We're also going to look at what's happening in the UK at the moment with the degradation of society. We know how degeneracy is sweeping our shores, and we're also going to have a look at what's happening in France. This is shocking, guys. Stick with me then. Let's dive straight in. And this is amazing. Britain has lost control of its borders, Defence Secretary tells Sky News. I think what he's done here is a bit of an interview, and he's said some things that actually he's probably going to find himself in trouble for. By the way, if you do get the Ground News Guide, the offer, I always use it. At the very top of your Chrome bar, every news story you click on, you'll get this up the top there. You can see it straight away.
Pretty shocking, those scenes yesterday. The truth is, Britain's lost control of its borders over the last 5 years. And the last government last year left an asylum system in chaos and record levels of immigration. I think yesterday tells us a really big problem, which is you've got French police unable to intervene and intercept the boats when they're in shallow waters. That means we saw it. We saw the smugglers launching elsewhere and coming round like a taxi to pick them up. Now, one of the steps, and this is a complex problem, but one of the steps we've now got is the cooperation, new cooperation with the French and an agreement. They'll change the rules so the police can intervene in the water as well as on the shore, and that will help to make a difference to what we saw yesterday.
Well, we hate to say it, John, but no one believes you, of course. Now, who are these people coming across? Well, the truth is we don't know, and this is the major issue because, of course, the reason they don't take aeroplanes across here is because they'd have a passport on them, and if they had a passport on them, we'd know where they came from, and we'd know who they were, and we could send them back. The country they came from would have to receive them back. However, when you throw your documentation in the sea and you have no history, we cannot return you because we don't know where you've come from. Well, here we get what looks like apparently North African migrants rioting over a football game in France. These scenes are devastating. This is Paris, and not just Paris, there's other cities as well apparently where this is going on. Burning of vehicles, looting of shops, smashing things, of course. And the police force are unable to contain this. And if you think this is not going to come to your country, you are wrong. There is a push to get all these people flooded. And the problem is they're going to flood into your nation. And the issue being that they're going to be taking your jobs. And I'm not that guy that's fear-mongering. It's a fact, guys. The more people in the country, there's only a certain number of jobs, you know what I mean? The more people here, it's just going to stagnate wages. We know wages have been stagnating. We know that. Look, a bike just comes in there. These policemen having fireworks thrown at them. This is absolutely crazy. Trying to quell this unrest. And one of the issues here, this man here says, I thought racism was a terrible thing until the evidence proved me wrong. I hope the backlash against these savages when it comes is devastating and final. They don't belong anywhere near civilization. They never have and never will. And what he's referring to, of course, is North Africans doing this kind of damage and not what we would class as traditional French men and women. Now, the problem with France, of course, is actually illegal in France to actually keep statistics about the number of minorities in the country. So you can't actually find out what their demographic makeup actually is. This guy looks happy with himself, doesn't he? He's about to go and break the window, but he doesn't realise on camera they will find him. He's quite happy when he smashes this up. And he's going to complain about the fact he hasn't actually got a bus shelter to go and stand in later. I mean, it's just truly awful. Look at this. The police, they can actually punch people, especially if they feel their life is at risk. So what we don't see is the context a lot of the time with this, guys. And so what is it that we're worried about? Who are these people that are coming over? The truth is we don't know, do we? And I think we had like 1,200 come over on boats on Saturday alone. So, of course, you know, this is what happens. They go out to get picked up in the channel and then they get brought in here, processed. And of course, they just add, don't they, to people. I think it's probably something to do with GDP in effect, but definitely wage stagnation. We're looking at big corporates, aren't we, keeping people employed on low wages. And of course, here's a scene in Austria, in a kids' park. There's shootings here with calls of Allah Akbar. And I mean, this is incredible. This is happening. This is Austria. Austria. And again, just more fireworks and unrest in France. This stuff's all going off, isn't it now? They always said it was because of a football match, but you know, I don't know what's going on. So if you do, I mean, it just seems to be, as I said, degeneracy and lawlessness, really. And it's mid-level violence, isn't it? It's little things like this just piss people off. It's like, mate, off you go, bang, there you go. Stop being a dickhead, mate, all right? That's the problem we get with people that don't understand culturally the country they've come into. We're a very tolerant and accepting country. Acceptance more than tolerism, really. But this is why people end up becoming racist, because all they see is this kind of thing happening.
Ground News have decided to sponsor this video. They are good people, and when they said, can I sponsor you, Tim, I was like, hell to the yes, because I used their product already, and I said, what's going to be a great deal for me is going to be a great deal for you guys as well. 40% off the Vantage plan, top tier plan. Let's head over there now. So what Ground News does, it brings all these news articles in from across the political spectrum. It looks at the biases on them as well. So if I was to scroll to this article here, which is about the UK economy expanding by 0.5% in February, higher than expected, and I clicked on it, we can see straight away that there's 16 news sources that have reported on it. It is a leaning left. Why? Because we've got a left-wing government, haven't we? So maybe the right aren't reporting on it too much. And you can see there's about 6 in the centre. Now, what you can do then, pretty much, 55% centrist, kind of a centrist article, you can then have a read, have a bit of a summary here if you want to, and then you can go and pick your favourite paper down here anywhere you want, and you can click on that link. It then takes you across to that paper, and if you can see at the very top, you've also got a taskbar on Chrome that also helps you see what is going on. You have a read of it if you want, there you go, to all kinds of different papers. And you can also look at the factuality of it. How factual are these things that are coming out? And also, who owns those papers, right? So you know when you're being kind of like hoodwinked. Ground News is the only way that I get unbiased news, and the offer today is 40% off the Vantage plan. It's a good plan. I use it myself, about £7 a month, guys. Get after it.
This is Birmingham. A guy walks, smashes a bottle on some guy's head, and look, he walks away knowing the police aren't going to do anything. The police aren't going to do anything at all. Walking away, he's got his hoodie on, isn't he? Absolute coward of a man. Coward of a man. These people are going to get found. This is Robert Jenrick from the Conservative Party, and of course he's going in and saying to people, why are you not paying to get into the underground in London? We know people jump the barriers. We know it happens the whole time. And of course, he's only got one demographic here, of course, isn't he, really? But, you know, he's trying to do the best job he possibly can. Man, that was cute as a tiger, a little bit of a break there. And I'm saying, listen, here's the thing as well. That's what the country's worried about, because we only got 170,000 police officers to stop this kind of low-level violence. And they're really worried that it's going to escalate into riots like they see in France. It's absolutely horrific what's going on over there. And of course, it could well go over here because we lost confidence in the police. And this is the problem with the police then, because they celebrate this degeneracy. I have no interest in this whatsoever. It's supposed to be policing without fear or favour, but it's been heavily politicised. Look at this total idiot. I don't know who this is. I don't want anything to do with this at all. This has gone too far. And this is the problem. We're importing people who have no interest in just civil behaviour. This is the main issue that we have. Look, someone's motorcycle there. I've just started motorcycling. Man, I'll be kicking off against this guy. Let me tell you right now. He would get torn down. And I don't want that to happen to anyone. I'm not a violent man, but you cannot tolerate this kind of thing. Is he going to carry on doing this right now? Look at this. This guy's just walking up the street. He's not worried about anything. Oh, mate, this costs money, mate. It's all good going. Mental health. Yeah, mental health, isn't it? It's mental health. It's not, mate. It's not. You're going to be in trouble. Look at that. Can you believe this? It's wrong. This is the sort of thing that we're up against. They have no respect for the country. That's the problem. Looks like they found him in the end. It's better the police find him than I do. Can't use the music on this. It's this weird kind of music. I don't really understand it. But either way, it's probably copyrighted, right? So this is some kind of festival up in Leicester, apparently. And what ends up with like a lone police officer surrounded by all these people. So I fast forward it a bit now. Obviously, there's got some injuries, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But there's this one guy trying to make an arrest here. I would just say, if you see this, guys, you've got to help people out. You might not like the police. That's someone's son, that police officer right there. You know how I feel about it. Yes, they've been politicised. Yes, they're going to police you for your tweets when you say stupid things. And yes, we should be able to say and speak freely in the country. Unfortunately, that man's in trouble right there. You've got to step in and help him. Because if we don't, guys, we're just going into lawlessness. You know, it's a difficult time right now. If you know the answers to put them in the comments. If you know what the answers are, put them in the comments. But look, the truth is, our borders, unfortunately, are completely open. They cannot be controlled. As that Defence Secretary has just said, they've lost control of our borders. And that's what I want to show you. That's what's going to be happening. That's what's going to be escalating. And it all comes down to propaganda as well. This is what kids are learning at school. Vikings were not all white and some were Muslim. It's absolute bollocks. They weren't at all. They just traded with Islam. And that's why they were buried with some Islamic goods. But people to be told in an effort to ditch Eurocentric ideas. I could do a whole story on this. What they're trying to say is that Vikings were diverse. Therefore, they probably had some black people in it, you know what I'm saying? Probably had some Muslims in it. They didn't at all. Did not at all. But we're being told this. This is how you change people's thinking. It's just through continuous lies. This must be terrifying, man. You're trapped inside a car. Smashed up. Look at that car. It's smashed up. Oh, come on. This is the problem. That could be your sister in there, mate. And I'm going to end it there. But let's talk about your daughter or your wife or your sister or your mum. Now, I would recommend, because of the activity that they are doing and the muscle injuries that they're obviously going to sustain, you buy them one of these little tins of deep heat. So if they are moving around a really busy city, maybe late at night, and they get a muscle pain, they can spray it with that deep heat, of course, and they can alleviate that pain a little bit. But don't get it in your eyes, because if you do, it can temporarily incapacitate them. Have a think about it, guys. Stay safe out there. Fitness, family, finance, fuel, and faith. The only thing that's going to stop this happening is your local community. Get involved. Get amongst other people, all right? And make your community safe. Tim Davies, Fast Ship Performance.